Okay,
Okay.
we are here with Luiz Azeredo, the Joker, living
Oh
legend of
yeah.
Chute Boxe. It's very happy to be here, Luiz. Thank you for joining me. I'm very excited to be able to talk to you. I've been wanting to talk to you for a very long time.
Nice to see you again, Rafa. And I love fights and talk about fights is gonna be very cool with you, my man. Like
Yeah,
old school, shooter box style.
Chute Boxe style. Um, I mean, where can we start off? First, I think we should start off just what got you into Vale Tudo and combat sports. The first time you were actually on my radar was when you fought in Mecca against Cristiano Marcello, but you started way before that, right? You had
All right,
already beaten you had already beaten Anderson Silva, right?
yeah, let me introduce myself then.
Yeah.
I am Luiz Azeredo. I'm a shooter box athlete, and right now I'm working more focusing the coaching next generation. And I have my career, the MMA fights. I have like a 25 pro fights, and I fight with the best fighters in the world around. And I do martial arts when my mommy put me for me in the judo in Brazil when I'm a young kid. And right now I have a good experience and time to bring my experience for the next generations is coming up. And Luiz Azeredo is welcome right here and talk with you guys, give you any information needed and motivation, and let's get it, man. You wanna
Yes.
talk about the first fight in the America?
Yeah, I
Or
would love to hear when you first started, because people don't realize. I mean, you fought the best of the best for many years. I mean, you beat Anderson Silva in his first pro MMA fight. This is before he
oh
was
yeah.
even with Chute Boxe, right? Was he with Chute Boxe at
Uh,
that time?
when I fight with the Silva, I'm not the box fighter, but he is. And I fight in his house, and the shooter box crew with him. The whole crowd in the place is with him. And then I come for his house, and I know it's gonna be a tough fight. But if you wanna be a tough guy, a good one, you have to face the hard challenges. You know, if you
Yeah,
don't face the
he's
challenge,
a lot taller. He's a lot taller than you and bigger than you. I'm surprised. I mean, was at that I want to ask a question too about that. Did Anderson Silva get most of his style from Pele? Because I remember Pele was like my first favorite. When I first started combat sports, Pele was having his fights with Macaco.
yeah, I believe the shooter box is the big schools start to introduce the stand-up fight for MMA, because before that you can see in the first UFC fighters the Gracie family, the Royce Gracie bring the fight to the ground, and not much stand-up guys be able to handle, and the fight is always going to the ground. And in Brazil, the shooter box is like the most dangerous school you meet. Like a Pelé, like you said, Pelé and Macaco is the big challenge in Brazil, because before all these guys do stand up, or the guys do the ground game. No, everybody is mixed martial arts. And before it's vale tudo. It's kind of
How
be
did
Muay Thai versus Jiu Jitsu. And
how did
yeah, so
Hudemar, for those that don't know, Hudemar Federico is the founder, right, of Shoot the Box. How did he and Rafael Cordero get linked up?
the Rafael and Masudimar is the guys starts together the school. I think the guys get a friendship, and Curitiba is the place born in the shooter box. And I believe Rudimar Fedrio believe in his skills, and then he feel around the good people, so tough guys, and then the guys connect together and bring the Muay Thai and mix the Taekwondo, and that starts born the shooter box. I don't know 100%, because the best thing to talk to Master Rudimar. The master is him, and then I still under him, and I'm glad on that, because he make a strong group. And from Chute Boxe, rise Rafael Cordeiro, Vanderlei, even Anderson Silva, Shogun Rua, many stars come from there. And I be part of that team. I train these animals, these stars, man. And the
Hey,
guys don't
yeah.
go easy to you, man.
People don't realize the murderer's row that you guys had, the bunch of killers. I mean, at that one time, from Oswerio Silva,
Oh yeah.
Vanderlei, Cyborg, even, and then at your weight class, you had what? Gene Silva was close to your Gene, the white bear, right? He was
Uh, yeah, Jean Silva and have Andradida, that the stars right here. Have many guys, a lot like
crazy.
Marlon, a lot of when I enjoy the Chute Boxe school. I'm already Muay Thai black belt, like it's not belt but Kruang. But in
Yeah.
Brazil, you have the levels for you know how good you are or how long you train. And then I was at black level, and I'm black belt jiu-jitsu when I enjoy. And I'm the first ones from Brazil be the double black belt in Muay Thai and Jiu-Jitsu. Because when I
Wow.
start to watch, I start to watch Macaco, is my sensei, and Jiu-Jitsu, he's a black belt. And I watch Pridefc, and then he's Muay Thai. When I watch the fight, the both guys fight together, I say, damn, I want to be able to be good in the ground and stand up at the same time. And I start to work on that. And
When
and then
did
I
when
have
did when did Mikako come to Chute Boxe? Because I remember at one time he was sort of like an enemy with Pele. They were having these fights, and then he had his own like gold team, right? When did his gold team start?
Yeah, the gold team is from Brazil. You have a strong group right there, and jiu-jitsu competition, this MMA too. Because my macaco is when I think about starting training, I said, man, I'm in Brazil, in São Paulo. Where I gonna go? And then I found macaco like the best MMA fighters on the around. And then I said, you know what, I'm gonna enjoy this team. And then when I enjoy the team, and I see the very strong team, they do this competition. Whatever competition you go, have like 100 guys from our schools go there and make noise right there. And you meet Chute Boxe when I fight to Pelé, no Pelé no. I saw Pelé from Chute Boxe, and then when I have the opportunity to fight MMA, the first challenge is going to Anderson Silva, and that time you fight it, Chute Boxe versus Macaco Gold Team, and after that I win, and then you make the connection because if you want to be good on something in São Paulo, you have a good Muay Thai, but you don't have a lot of people that does Muay Thai. And me and Macaco think about it, said, you know why? Let's enjoy the Chute Boxe and then get stronger because you have a strong jiu-jitsu. The Chute Boxe get strong in Muay Thai. If you connect, it's gonna make a good team. And that momentum, I enjoy the Chute Boxe and Macaco coming with me. And then you start to and then it started the gold time from Chute Boxe because not just us, but a lot of people start to enjoy the group. Like Nino Chambry, Cristiano Marcelo's are already there. I fought him
Yeah.
too. I fought two Chute Boxe guys before enjoy. You know what I mean? I
Wow.
fight
So
Anderson
yeah,
Silva.
that's right. Nino. Well, at the time he was calling himself Elvis, right? Elvis Shembri, right?
My man.
And then he went to the Cristiano Marcello. Man, were you in Japan when speaking of Nino Chembri, when he knocked out Zakuraba? I couldn't believe when the stand up and he looked like it was the first time he ever did stand up. He had his hands real high. He looked a little. I couldn't believe he knocked out Sakuraba. That, to me, I don't know how people don't talk about that still. To me, that was one of the biggest upsets I've ever seen, because you thought if he was going to beat Sakuraba, he would have submitted him, right?
Exactly.
Not knocking him
Exactly.
out with knees. you know.
Listen, like fight is a lottery, you know. You never know what's gonna happen. The two guys have to be ready for anything
Any
happen.
given night, yeah.
Yeah, I like Gabriel Gonzaga knocked out Crocop with the high kick.
Oh
You know what I mean?
wow.
You see some things in the MMA, you have to be ready for. Yeah, you expecting him to go ground game, but he's gonna throw something. You Same thing. When I enjoy the Chute Boxe, I start to enjoy more my stand-up game. But MMA, you have to be mastered and mind because your opponent is good in the ground, you fight stand-up. He's good in stand-up, you bring him to the ground again. But when you're young, you don't care about that. If he's good stand up, I want to face him stand up. You are like, you want to prove ourselves. But that's
Yeah,
good,
but
man. That's the life.
It's amazing to me. It's amazing because you guys come from favelas and very poor areas of Brazil, and then you find yourself fighting in Bushido and Pride in front of 40, 50, 60,000 people. To me, you guys should have got compensated way more than you actually did. And I think, you know, the amount of knowledge that you've, it's just amazing, man. Can you take me through when you first got into Pride? Because I mean, you fought, what was it, Luiz Buscape first in Bushido? That was
Yeah, yes. And time I start to enjoy the MMA in that time is Chute Boxe, the big school from Brazil, and top team. I don't Brazilian top team today have
yeah,
American top team, but in that time it's top team from Rio de Janeiro. And then the guy have the best fighters from Rio. Some guys enjoy right there, and you have the Chute Boxe from Curitiba is the best fighters too. And always get have that time. When you go for Japan, I think the Japanese are gonna see who is better, and then the better Brazilian fighter is gonna face the Japanese guys, you know.
yeah.
And that's
I
the
remember
challenge.
they had thrown your what was his name? Jason Costa. They had thrown him to the wolves, and you know they threw him to
Yeah,
Takanori Gomi, and then you come to fight Takanori Gomi when Gomi was like
yes.
undefeated. You know, before we go ahead of ourselves, I mean, take us through first when you first entered Pride, because I want to really talk about that Takanori Gomi fight too. Because Luiz, I was even though I wasn't part of the Shoot the Box team, Shoot the Box was my heart. Like I used to watch you guys, and you guys inspired me. So
Cool, man.
when that happened to you with Takanori Gomi, man, I wanted to fight. I was kicking the TV. I was going crazy, you know. So then,
Yeah,
yeah,
man. Let me say talk about the first fights I did in Pride. I think it's a good opportunity. I fight with Luiz Buscapé, and he's a very good grappler, and I'm a
yeah,
grappler too. And I'm ready for stand up with everybody too. And when I face him, I feel it's gonna be a good fight anyway. And then he comes straight to the ground game, but my ground game is sharp in that time because I do a lot of competition, jiu-jitsu competition too, and go for Muay Thai. I'm ready for any level. And then when he took me down, I just started attacking the armbar, the submission, one after the other. Even in the ground, is still striking him. And I think that's the fights make a lot of noise because
yeah,
somebody in the battle position attacking more than the person being on the stand and the top. That's make the people going crazy. Even the people the announcers talk about the fight. And then I almost finished him like 2-3 times, and he did a good escapes. And the fight's going to stand up, I strike he took me down again. When I have a chance, I do the flight kicks over him, and man,
yeah,
I love the Pride, man. I love the Pride. And the
yeah.
idea is, man, I believe too much in the conditioning and the skills, but if you have skills, you don't have conditioning, you can fight. You can fight just 3 minutes. And Pride, the fight is 10 minutes straight, first round, and then second round is 5. But you fight 10 minutes straight with the push yourself in the limits. It's not for everybody. And then I
Crazy
know
10 minute
that.
round. Crazy,
Yes, I know that.
crazy.
And then I push my training hard every time, man. And I think that makes the difference. I keep push until
Yeah.
the
And
last minute the
you had
round.
already fought Maha Sakurai before that as well, right? And all
Oh
that. So
yeah.
you were already
The-
fighting the best of the best. It's interesting because like my Muay Thai coach used to tell me that to be a good fighter, you have to he said you have to make the cut, the CUTT, which is conditioning, unpredictability, technique, and timing. And that's what you have in your fight. You had that unpredictability factor about you, where at any given time you could hit somebody with like a switch knee or like something. That unpredictability of you was always my favorite.
yeah.
Because it's like
Thank
you
you.
you had that free flowing. So you had beat Luis Buscape, and then they make you fight. What was it, Bushido 7 when you fought Takanori Gomi?
Right after Buscapé, the guys give me Takanori Gomi. And
Yeah,
I fight for the champ right away. The second fight in the Pride, I fight to the champ. And then
yeah,
anyway, I like that because I don't. I like challenges, man. If I fight Anderson Silva from Brazil, the best in the Brazil, I beat him. And then right away, he throw me with Sakuraba. no, which the Shoto you just said right now, Hayato.
Maha Sakurai, right?
Yeah, I
Mayato
did it with the
Sakurai.
hand. Yeah,
Yeah,
I did
he
it with
was
the
like,
hand with the belt in the Shoto too. And then the guy
yeah.
threw me with the big fist right away. You said, you know why? Give me, because if you want to
Oh,
fight, give me somebody good, And I fight very well with Gomez, but yeah, I think like I said, for you, when I enjoy Chute Boxe, I like to standing more than ground game, and then I put in my game. Gomes is good to stand up. I'm gonna fight him with standing. Suppose I change my game in between that and ground game and him
yeah.
because I beat a lot of guys on the ground game. But and
The
then I
first few
enjoy
minutes
too
you had
much.
him.
I know it,
You
but I
had him
got too
hurt. You had
too
him
much
really hurt.
confidence, and then I
Yeah.
have to change the plans. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I love it, man. I love it like a back and forth.
So
I don't.
take me through that real quick, because like that first few minutes of that fight was the first time in Pride that Takanori Gomi was worried. You could see you had hit him with a couple of shots. You also hit him with like a switch knee, right?
Oh,
You had him with like a switch knee, and I
I
think you scared him. You had him scared. Maybe not scared to fight, but he was scared to lose. He was scared to lose, and you were
I ready to win, man. I ready to win, man. I don't have fear on my heart. I just have to respect the people. But when you step in the cage, you don't care about who is the person. You know what I mean? You want about yourself.
yeah. But afterwards,
And
man, he really, you could see how worried you had him, because he was trying to hit you after you were already done, and
I know.
I don't think you
That
realized it, because I don't think you realized it probably till later on when you saw the video, right?
yeah, I realized it before I said it because I saw the master Kujimar try go through and talk to him too. Like the
Yeah, he
situation
was
going
going.
crazy.
I remember he was
Yeah,
like up in his face, waving his
but
finger.
I tell one thing, I fight twice with Takunaragon. The
Yeah,
second time I have a him on the ground game, and then I take it down him a few times. And in the end of the fight, the second time you fought, you go for decision by scores. And then the guys give it to him again. Because if you fighting somebody's house, you have to beat him very well. If the
yeah,
fight is
but
kind of be close,
you
the
took
fight
him all the
always
way to
gonna be there.
decision. Yeah,
Yeah.
you took the best guy they had. You took to decision, so that's amazing in itself.
Yeah, I know
Uh,
I can't complain it because whatever they got decided in the day, that the decision is still there. You know what I mean?
I
But
never wanted
listen,
you to
guys,
win more than that fight. I wanted you to win more than any fight, I think, in Pride. When your second fight with Gomi, because
I
I
know.
felt like he needed it. He needed payback.
I think that shows the best opportunity the life give to me because they're gonna fight Chitaka Norigomi. If I win, he ain't gonna fight. I gonna face Hayat Sakurai, and then I'm gonna fight the guys that I supposed to do. But the destiny give to me that way. I just gonna say that I accept and say thanks God for the lesson you did. You give a good lesson for me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You still learn.
Was
You
your
always
son
still learn, evolve.
was your son Victor born at that time when you were fighting?
Uh, my my son Victor is born around that time for sure. And listen, a lot of times when you focus in the fight, you have to 100% focus. Sometimes you have to give you space, take a space out your family, take care of yourself because when you step in the cage, somebody wanna kill you. Like
Yeah.
you have the referee right there, but he's a modern Spartan or gladiators. You go out, man. You
Yeah.
go out right
So
there.
it was after Pride, right? Pride. Did Pride go under? That's how you guys all ended up in Cage Rage in the UK? Because I know a couple of you went to
Oh
Cage Rage.
yeah, I did a cage race right there. I fight to the famous Paul Daley, man. That is a
I
big
can't
fight. I
believe
did it,
that's a huge
and
win,
then
man. He's one of the best in the
yeah,
world
man.
still. Still to this day,
I
he's still one of the best.
I know he's very good fighter, man. Because I said for you, man, if you give something good because you coming to the earth right here for represent. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So and now you raising the next generation. I love the fact that you're into the motivation and you're into raising the new families up. I know you're teaching at Middletown.
Yeah,
It's interesting. My friend Onishi was teaching there as well. That's how I got to know that you were there. And
yeah, Onisa is a good guy. He introduced me the Renzo Gracie family right there, and then I share like the Chute Boxe style with the Jiu-Jitsu Gracie, man. They gotta have the best right there. I say you bring the best for the USA, and then you have a problem because the American guys can be strong. But
yeah,
that's good
well, you
because
know
that's
what?
the evolution.
They need it. I agree, because if they're gonna have a Henzo school and somebody that usually deals with like appliances and Radio Shack or whatever, the guy who runs that state, he's not an MMA guy. He's kind of using the name, but they need you. They need people like you. Like, if I agree, if they're gonna use Henzo's name, they should have Brazilian teachers there. And people, or at least, if not Brazilian, at least someone that is a
No,
pro
if you
fighter.
have a Renzo Gracie name on your school, for sure you're gonna have a
Yeah.
Renzo Gracie black belt right there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And right now I bring the Chute Boxe for American too. And like Chute Boxe is a big name, man. And these days you have a Charles Oliveira. He represent the lightweight, the champ for the belt. And that's me, man. You have always a good stars coming up. You know what I mean? Always
Charles is amazing. I think he's going to do good for a long time now. It's his time now. I can't, in my opinion, he shouldn't have been fighting at the other weight class earlier in his career. I think the weight cut was killing him.
The weight cut is the hard part for the fighters, man. But sometimes you have to check yourself for see how good the weight you can go. Sometimes you fight heavy, you fight low, but when you figure out how weight is good for you, nobody can hold you.
Yeah.
And I think now he found his weight, his body weight. His weight.
Yeah.
That, for sure he's found because he's the champ, you know what I mean?
Yeah, he's amazing right now, man. I'm very happy that his even Cyborg, the lady Cyborg, I mean, she's still doing her thing, and you guys all came up together. How much has the Chute Boxe style changed? Because nowadays with the CTE and everything going on, people can't really be having these wars in the gyms anymore like you guys used to. So have you found like a different balance sort of over the years where you could still have that aggressive style that the Chute Boxe have, but a little bit more less maybe full contact sparring? Or how has it evolved over the years, or are you guys still going full force?
No, for sure the Chute Boxe just evolved. And sometimes you have spoken before spoken the Curitiba. Right now, Diego Lima, if you know Diego Lima, he's my black belt. He's the coach from
same as Oliveira, right? He's part of Oliveira.
Yeah. Then he have a strong team right now. I think he have the strong team from Chute Boxe from Brazil right now. And everybody wanna get a good camp and fight. Have to come to São Paulo. And he have a good he have like a 3-4 fighters in the AFC, and I'm glad on that because the seed I put it right there is growing, and then when you see the result he has, I feel proud and feel happy for myself because I give the start on this, man. I have a few guys from my behind me for black belt. I give it, and these guys represent you well, and then I'm happy on that because when you start something, you see the things you put in the faith and these people make a noise. I say just thank God for giving that knowledge, and then I be able to pass for the other people. And listen, now I'm gonna bring the champs for USA, man, because Lima show he can do it right here in Brazil. And I come here in the end of the year right now. I come to Brazil for visit to the family, and I see my students black belt right now. The guys have a big followers. Lima have a big crew. Marcos Trogante is another black belt from me. He's have a big school. Fernando Segura is another black belt. And then the school gets strong. I just said, man, the next generation, the Chute Boxe coming harder, man.
Yeah.
Yes,
I mean, I always
still watch.
I always,
you said it about Chris Cyborg. Chris Cyborg is always the champion woman, man. Right now, she work with the bellator. She found herself well right there, and everybody lost fight, man. When Mike Tyson lose, you can see everybody lose because Mike Tyson is the king for long. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And Chris Cyborg, same thing. She's the woman's queen, and she lost for for the Lion Girl.
I don't like how she was treated. I don't like how she was treated in the UFC. You know, I don't like how she was treated. And I think if she fought Amanda Nunes now, she'd win.
I believe since you win the first time, but like I said, when you young, you say, yeah, you want to stand up, you stand up with the opponent. You have to like change the game sometimes. Because when I think Chris Cyber got a click, suppose Chris Cyber change the emotion, the fight, and bring Amanda Nunes to the ground. But when you fight, it's like a few seconds, man. You can think too much. You have to react. And that's the fight, man. You have to accept and move forward, always.
Did you ever think about fighting K1 back in the day? Because I know Dita had fought in K1. Did you ever get any offers from K1 Max or anything like that back in the day?
No K1 Max, because I did it in Chute Boxe. Chute Boxe is Muay Thai fight, but that's cool because the guys allowed you put the takedowns on and submission and stand up position. If you go to the ground, the fight stop. And that one is close to strong Muay Thai fighters right there, but to be able to submission the people. And then I give a good submission on that show, man. I make a noise when there's some katagatame. I get my opponent and choke him stand-up fight. But K1, I never have the opportunity because I focus for MMA. And then if you go for K1, you have to 100% focus stand-up. And then I said, if you guys want to be a stand-up with me, come to MMA. I stand up with you. But in these days, my man, whatever you're gonna face or whatever my student face, you're gonna go for strategy, my man. That is the game. You wanna be the number one, you have to make the plan game, man. You know yourself, you know the opponent's self, and then the victory's coming.
Yeah, I mean, there's so much I can ask you. It's just endless, man. Because there's so many questions I could possibly ask you. But now, you're raising, even your son is now fighting Victor, right? Baby Joker, the baby Joker.
Right. He's complete fighter, man. I teach him until he's born, and then I give everything.
I remember Onishi told me when he was 14, when your son was 14, he's like, Victor's already a beast.
Exactly.
He was already a beast at 14 years old. Yeah, he went to school with my stepson in Middletown.
Oh yeah, that's cool, man.
Yeah,
this boy have to be the future, man. I still putting him himself right now because he have a judo background. He have a wrestling background from high school. He have Muay Thai from Chute Boxe school from raised right here in Brazil. And he did the Golden Gloves boxing. The first time he did it, got a third place. The second time he got a second place. And he have every skills he has on his back, man. When
he's got the whole world in front of him. I think take it slow, man. I want him to take it slow. Don't throw, because sometimes I don't like sometimes when they rush people's career because of who their family are. And I think even with Anderson Silva's kid now, he recently got knocked out really, bad. And I think things should go slow, slow. I saw Frank Mir's daughter talking to Dana White, and I was like, I hope they don't put her in the UFC anytime soon. I guess she could take it easy,
Yeah, man. The idea is if you have a strong name behind your back, but you are who you are, you know what I mean? My son is not me. He's a Victor Azeredo, baby Joker. He's gonna make him history. I'm gonna support him, but in the end, the history is gonna be his star right there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's a good fighter, but he's gonna have his own style. I'm gonna put in my cards game on him, but in time he's gonna fight. He's gonna be the baby Joker, man. He's gonna be the star. Like you say, the Anderson Silva put his son. You expect his son to be like a Anderson Silva, but everybody have your stars,
Yeah.
And like I said, man, everybody can lose. When Mike Tyson lose, I said everybody can lose. And if you lose and get up, that is the real champ, man.
That's what matters. You're it's true. What's your opinion on Pereira coming from Glory into the UFC? I think he's training with Glover Teixeira and all them. You think he's gonna make it to the top of the UFC and to fight Adesanya?
Listen, Glover Teixeira is the champ right now. He's a good example of because 42 years old, and I have 45 right now. And I saw him. I said, "Yo, man, this guy's gotta make his side again, man. That's making me crazy again." But it's not easy, my man, because you when you pump your heart, is the condition is the key, man. You have to keep it strong to the end. You never know the fight's gonna be quick or gonna go for 5 rounds or 2 rounds, whatever you're gonna fight.
Yeah.
Is a big challenge. But I believe that the K1 fighter, man, he's gonna be good because he already have the stand-up skills, like a master. And then the ground game, if he be smart, he's gonna keep the fight standing. And he trained ground game a long time. He just don't compete too much. That's the idea. If you know ground game, but you don't.
I think Adesanya's ego probably won't let him go to the ground. He's gonna want to stand with him and prove it a point. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because two stand-up guys, the guys gonna face each other standing, you know. And listen, man, the two good fighters stand up is lottery, man. You never know who's gonna take the best shot, you know.
Yeah.
Fight is fighting, man. I just learned in the life, man. Every time you face somebody, you be confident, but you know your opponent be confident too. Just go there and make it. Show the world you have a heart, you don't give up. That you are a champ, you know.
Have you thought about? Yeah. I mean, we were at the same age. I'm 44. So have you ever thought about coming back to do like a grappling match or something like that?
I don't know, grappling match. I did it. I still doing, man. Because grappling match, you're gonna fight for 5 minutes, something like that. You can control yourself in just 1 round. You know, you go there, fighting the grappling 1 round, 5 minutes. I have more than 1 round, but I have a lot of fights in the grappling match. I still doing because that motivation my students, and then I show my skill for this guy. The guys get excited and see the coach fight too. And but
do you still
MMA,
have is Jal Ceferino teaches with you still or
yeah, John Zeferino, he is the Brazilian samurai. He's a good fighter, man. He's a tough guy. And he go to Brazil, America, back and forth. When he be in America, he helped us in the Renzo right there, Middletown.
Yeah.
And when he be in Brazil, he do his camp. He come back to America, he supports the school, like Renzo Gracie Academy, Middletown, New York. I have my school too. It's Hoboken Fight Club in New Jersey. And then I split my time right now in the both schools. I'm glad on that because when you have your own school, I'll be able to teach the guys the ground game the way I like to do, and they stand up. And then when you talk in the fight, you're gonna understand my language. And then that's me. You're gonna go like in a joystick. I said, yo, I can see what he do, and then I know what the danger zone he can be. Whew, that's the emotion, man.
Yeah, it's like a video fighting the video game. Is Pele in New Jersey still? I know he was in New Jersey for a while.
Yeah, I trained with Pele when he be in Jersey too, man. He's a beast, man. When I know him being in Jersey, I trained to Macaco. He's my sensei. When I saw Pele around there, I said, you know what, I have to take a chance to train the legend. He's a legend, man.
Yeah, he is. He was one of my first. And you know, I was upset because like I had read Anderson Silva's book when it came out like 10 years ago or whatever, and he was talking about some things like splashing the water or something that Pele drove by and the water splashed on Anderson Silva and his daughter when they were driving. And I always felt that tension was did they have some wars in the gym that you can talk about at all, that or can you talk about anything
I can talk the Pele and Anderson Silva is the guy have his history, you know what I mean? The guys challenged each other and before. But when I made that in the Chute Boxe, when Wanderlei Silva and Shogun do a sparring, there's like a prize fight, man. The guys like
was that the one they fought over the pit bull? They were fighting over the pit bulls or something, the dogs? They had the litter, the dog litter?
The guys going for sure, man. Wanderlei Silva and Shogun Rua, when you watch the fight, you said, yo, you know why? I don't need to pay the ticket for watch. I'm just gonna sit here and watch this fight.
Whoa.
And then another thing, man, Wanderlei Silva, when I do sparring to him, doesn't matter his size you are, he told to me, yo, Azeredo, you're gonna spar, right? Go hard because I will go hard. You say, what? You can't say too much. I have to just go, man.
It's the axe murderer, man.
Yeah, he is, man. The way he fights in training, man, that he make you stop.
You guys are living legends, Luiz, living legends, and I really appreciate you coming by to do an interview. Maybe we can do another interview in a couple of months in the future because there's just so much to talk about. And for those listening out there, you could go to Middletown, New York, Renzo Gracie Academy, and you can also go to the Hoboken Fight Club, right? To find
Yes,
Luiz
perfect, man.
Joker Azeredo.
Oh,
Hey,
high five.
hey.
Thank you, man. Thank you, man.
Thank you, buddy. All right, I really appreciate it, man. Man, you've inspired me for probably about 15 or 20 years.
Cool,
I've
man.
known
Cool.
about you, and you've inspired me. So I want to say thank you, and I will post this on
Yeah,
YouTube. I'll send you the copy, and
cool,
I'm
cool.
looking forward to seeing your son in the future as well.
Yeah, he's the star, man. It's coming up. It's coming up. I want to say you one more word, man. I just
Yes.
want to say one thing, brother. Whatever you do right here, you have to know, man. Have the invisible words. Everybody know have something, and that something make the difference. Because I tell you right now, every fight I win, I put the invisible word front of me, and then I dedicate myself or whatever you believe. I learned by Christian because my mom raised me in that. But you don't have the right name because you have the light in the dark. If you wanna be a star, walk in the light, my man. Because you walk the light's gonna shine you. And whatever fight I lose, that's because I give a few steps in the dark and then come back to the light. And then when you're gonna pay the price, the Lord, the Savior, is gonna charge you in the best thing you want. And then if you watch my fights, in the details I lost because the details is the God. Said, you, my son, you wanna be an example, you have to shine the beginner to the end. Every time I do that, my fights, I beat Silva, I beat Paul Daley. And then when I get the decision with Takanara, go my little details. The details, man, is our work, but some hands on top of yourself is gonna kind of be good. And then I said, thanks Jesus, because he give the listen, man, and the people think about that, focus on the invisible words and do a good path because you're gonna be blessed.
That's amazing. It's true. That's a good point we should talk about is because a lot of people think combat sports in general is like just a bunch of gladiators or human cockfighting they used to call it, right? But it's actually a spiritual battle. Like
It
it
is,
really
it
is a
is.
spiritual battle. It's very spiritual. Is there how much like it's almost like a spiritual experience, right? When you go through a fight, it's like almost
The
like a spiritual war in itself.
it is because when you be you and the opponents right there, the time is going slow motion. I have to talk about that right now because when I fight in Brazil with Storm Samurai, before I go to the Pride, I fight with some jiu-jitsu guy. I know if I frustrate him, take it down a few times, he's gonna be crazy. And then he tried to take me down 3 times. I frustrated him, and then he do the guard, and then I did some ground and pound and get a side control, and then I have a chance to step in his head and just something talk to me. I step on his head, but something said if you go hard, you're gonna kill him. You know what I mean? That's me. If you be just a savage and go there, step 100% your power, you're gonna do some damage in the guy. Maybe he never come back natural. But I step in his side anyway because that's my job. But I have to get a control of myself. That's me. If you are a good guy, you can keep fighting, but you know the limit you do. And then I step in his head 3 times, but I don't put in my 100% power because that's the good people does. You know what I mean? You're gonna fight, you're gonna go win, but always you think about that. He's a human being, man. Come on. You don't fight sport. If somebody try to rob my family, kill my family, it's different. It's gonna
Yeah,
be
yes.
the crazy one. And like you said, the spiritual world is all I bring the spiritual world in my fight, I have to change myself. Because Luiz Azeredo is gonna be outside the cage. When I go inside right there is the Joker. Who is the Joker? The Joker is the crazy guy, the aggressive guy. And then if you wanna face my spirit is gonna laugh. Each punch I'm gonna take, I'm gonna just enjoy that and gonna give my worst for you. And that's the Joker, man. You bring your fear outside and bring to the opponents because your opponent is not your friend right there. The guy's gonna touch my hands in the fight. Said, you wanna touch my hands for what? You wanna punch my face, man? You touched the hands before. You know what I mean? That's
Yeah,
like you
I
said,
think
that's
that's the
spiritual
perfect
warrior, man.
that's the perfect nickname for you because you have that Joker wild card. At any given time, you could pull off something that, you know, that
Exactly.
you for your weight class too. I think literally like on any given night, you could have beat the best in the world. You
Yeah,
know,
I like work with the creativity, my man. I don't care where it's coming. I'm gonna put one cardio for my hands, and then or whatever you bring up, I'll be able to do the spinning kick, even the ground game. I show the spinning kick in the ground game. Something the people, I believe, the people watching TV and say that there's just a move. I do the movie things and the real fights. That's the real martial arts, you know.
did you actually take capoeira lessons? Because I know you incorporate capoeira sometimes. And
Yeah, I still evolve the capoeira, and I love capoeira, man. Capoeira is the evolution for martial arts, man. I'm gonna
wow,
bring that to my for the next generation coming up. Because if you got a good Muay Thai, good Jiu-Jitsu, you have the wrestling, but you have the capoeira. No, everybody has the capoeira. That is gonna be the joker key.
those spinning capoeira kicks are probably some of the strongest kicks you could possibly do. I mean,
It is between stand up and ground game. There's capoeira, my man. That's the flow.
yeah. Yeah, that's truly amazing, man. I really appreciate you coming, Luis. Thank you for coming,
All
and
right,
we'll talk to you soon.
welcome,
All right.
Alpha. All right, man.
Hey,
Let me know when you have, man. God bless you, man.
love you, buddy. Stay
Everybody.
strong.
Hey,
Hey.
peace.